Naturally, I chose to play as a dark elf with a future of stealth and magic in mind.
I went for an Argonian, called him Velocibadger.
Yeah, of course you did.
Because he kind of looks like a velociraptor.
I get it.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Barjo.
And I'm Hex.
And today we're checking out our old good game review of The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. What a game, Hex.
What a game. This game has gone on to, I think, be on just about every platform because it's been so popular and really kind of set the standard for RPGs.
It's still, for me, it might be still my favorite RPG of all time. At least top 5, that's for sure. It's just, it had everything, didn't it?
Dragonborn, all those incredible shouts, those wonderful, unique, quest opportunities and exploring.
Picking flowers and whacking skellies.
Well. Let's watch.
We drink to our youth, today's come and gone.
Oh, this montage was awesome, I remember.
This is like flooding back.
Oh, that whole intro. It's so iconic now. I'm getting goosebumps.
Man, and that
goosebumps.
intro has been parodied so many times as well.
This is a good montage. We loved a good montage at the top.
Fighting the dragon for the first time was huge because it just felt like, oh, how am I going to... Surely I'm not going to be able to do this.
And it's very nice of the dragon to land a lot for us to whack him.
It was kind. It was kind.
Out there, to me, a new Elder
Oh
Scrolls
my gosh, look at my hair. I had to cut all my hair off because I'd bleached it so much it was breaking off.
Oh no.
This was like... That was a tough time.
What would you call this phase, this hair phase for you?
It was just like weird emo bob.
I was like a Batman in the background.
A couple of 100 years after
Was it Batman? Oh my gosh, it is. He's wearing the tutu.
I think we gave that away.
Did we?
Yeah.
We gave away the zombie. And we met the guy
Both of them.
recently who
really?
won the zombie.
It's been a long time since dragons have been seen in the world, and most Nords think they're just a myth.
I loved the fighting between the factions in this one. It was very clear to me at the time. And I think Bethesda do that quite well, setting up there are these two things at war and you're kind of in between them and you've got to choose, they did it with the Fallout series a bit too, I think.
Naturally, I chose to play as a dark elf with a future of stealth and magic in mind.
I went for an Argonian, called him Velocibadger.
Yeah, of course you did.
Because he kind of looks like a velociraptor.
I get it.
Yeah. In my first few hours, Hex, I'd killed some friendly hunters, fell off a cliff, raised the dead, angered an entire village by attacking its chicken.
Did you kill the chicken in the village and then have the whole village against you? Oh, chicken, I'll kill that, and everyone hates me.
Yes, I feel like that totally is what happened because I'm always looking for people to parody The Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
Chicken, Mega Peck when they all just like...
They had the moral compass stuff, didn't they? Where people would...
I feel like the chicken thing actually is in The Witcher 3 also.
Oh, okay.
You kill enough chickens in The Witcher 3, I think it spawns a giant chicken maybe?
Oh, wow.
Something like that.
So many quest hacks, so many, I have to do all of them. Even 30 hours into this game, I still feel like I've barely accomplished anything.
Well, there we go, we're talking about the quest now. I didn't accomplish much.
I can feel the anxiety of just like finding multiple paths, but and not wanting to forget where they were, but like really wanting to stick with a main quest line because I'd done so many side quests.
Yep. I think I gave up in this. I'm like, I'm just going to keep going and keep playing, and whatever I discover. Because they do that so well. You'll be walking along, someone runs up with a letter. Hey, we've got a quest for you. Oh, I need to do this one, I think. They haven't found me in this world somehow.
And this is the first time we had like a massive open world like this, where you would see what looked like a matte painting type background.
Yeah.
But it was like, oh, actually, you can climb that.
You can go. Everything you can see, you can get to.
You can get to, that wasn't common before this game.
This game is about giving you objectives and then leaving it up to you how you want to go about completing them, either with honourable actions or being sneaky, thieving, murderous, and deceitful.
That's right, you had a couple of ways to finish most missions, which I liked. It felt quite freeing. I think you could just do that.
For an open world game, it is just beautiful. As you look off into the distance and you see majestic mountains and sexy castles, and then it starts to snow.
Oh, God, it was gorgeous, wasn't it?
I played a lot in third person, which is
did
like...
you?
Yeah.
Oh, it's hard in third person.
It's hard,
yeah.
But in these games, I love seeing my character.
I remember you saying that.
Yeah, and I love when I pick up gear and stuff, I want to see it represented on myself, and it was a sacrifice, but worth it.
You'll walk into a room and people will be having dinner, or they might even be having a quest-related conversation that you're barging in on.
I love this about the Scroll series, is these conversations that are already happening, and when you enter, it's not like you walk in and they're like, "Hi, let us begin." It's like, no, this is already going on. There's a trigger for it somewhere when you walk in the room, and you're interrupting.
It makes it feel like the world is alive and happening even when you're not there.
Yeah, totally. And they just nail it. And not a lot of open world games do that. I still do this in games whenever I can.
I also like the bards everywhere and their songs. Well, most of their songs.
Our hero claims a warrior's heart. I tell you,
25 gold well spent.
And while I could have done with a few more voice actors in the game, all the
That's right,
talent is so
yeah.
wonderful.
It felt like there were 7 people voicing the entire game.
Yeah.
They did a great job, though.
Yeah.
I'm really glad they've replaced the Tumblr lock-picking system from Oblivion with the more realistic picking mechanics.
Yeah, the lock
Nailed
picking in
it.
Oblivion was
Plus,
just
they've made it even
awful.
harder. You snap those lock picks so quickly on
Nailed it again.
You can now come across an enemy that's just too high a level for you, so you'll need to pause and potion like crazy or just flee for your life.
It's so much better this way. Otherwise, you never really feel that like sense of threat of being somewhere that you're not ready for yet.
And it's
which I
nice
just
being
love.
overpowered, too, when you go back to areas. And
Yeah. Just carve through everything like butter.
I can see that screen tearing on the 360.
And I really like the way they've changed the leveling system for your character. The more you use a skill, cast a certain magic,
Such a great leveling system.
And that beautiful star map skill tree.
Yeah. Such intuitive skill trees.
Yeah.
Like the fact that it leveled up the more you did something. I don't think I'd seen that in a game before, and that's used all the time now, you know?
Yeah.
things out in the world.
Oh, it's so lovely watching these. This was such a big, important game, too, and we got to spend a lot of time with it, which wasn't always the case. You know, we got to spend heaps of time with it
And
before
it was
we
such a
did
great
everything.
game to talk about with other people as well, because everyone's playthrough was different.
Yeah.
Everyone was taking different paths
Doing
through
different things.
the world,
Yeah.
trying different things, testing the game in different ways.
Plus, it was a game where no matter what kind of gamer you were, you could find something to do in this. You could play it your way. And so I would often recommend it for first-time gamers who want to try something a bit big, you know, and accessible. There's something in Skyrim for everyone. And I think that's one of the keys to its success.
Do you have you seen any of Shirley Curry's stuff, the Skyrim grandma?
No. Oh, no, but I have heard of her.
Oh, she's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
And she's a prime example of someone who is new to video games but just fell in love with this world and spends
Yeah.
all their time there. It's
A
wonderful.
joy to watch, I bet.
Yeah.
And I love the new slow motion critical kills. They make you feel like a badass.
Badass.
It's so weird listening back to the way we used to speak.
And it really evolved. Every year I'd look back and go, oh, I sound so weird last year.
Yeah. I guess I feel like I was talking the way I thought a presenter should sound.
Same.
the menus in Oblivion were actually what stopped me playing that game, because they were an abomination. But it's so good that they're all improved here, especially the inventory
It's
system.
really, really good inventory. Really hard thing to get the UI right for a game with so much to do and so much to collect, and they really did a good job with it.
And the detail, every single item in that game was so
Rotated and look at
beautifully
it.
crafted, and there'd be information about like why the Nern root, has
Yeah.
this type of
Yeah.
leaf, and the Nern root.
Another influence from Fallout is the inclusion of companions.
That's right, poor Lydia. I think I accidentally fussraded her off a cliff pretty early on.
Look, Lydia's died in a lot of creative ways in a lot of people's games, I think, so I wouldn't feel too guilty.
Oh, here's my Lydia death, probably.
The ragdoll.
You still took her stuff though, right?
I love how the horses just get in there with the combat. They die so easy, though. I was so sad.
Oh, the horses help you fight? I didn't remember that.
Yeah, I don't remember that either. All right.
Oh, no.
Oh, R.I.P.
Oh, Artis did such a good job on this one with the music and everything. They did such a good job. Such a big review. So much footage for this.
Yeah, yeah.
Forge gear, temper it and sell it on or use it.
I spent a whole day making daggers once just to level up.
I remember,
A whole
yeah.
day.
It's like this, you can usually find an item that levels it quickly and you
Yeah,
spam it.
spam that one.
Yeah. I remember also like eating like 42 apples or something like
Yeah.
that in the middle of a fight.
Just to stay alive?
yeah. Skyrim gets parodied with RL game type things more than any other.
I think so, still,
the idea
yeah.
of somebody in a battle and then just suddenly hoovering up like
I'm just fighting
a bunch of sweet
just
rolls.
need to have the sandwich. Eating cheese.
Good. But we should talk about the dragons, which are a huge part of this game. Dragons.
Dragons. Dragons.
Throughout Throughout your journey, you'll come across ancient runes that teach you what are called shouts. These are special powers that only Dragonborn can use.
Yeah, I loved it when you first got your shout to it, really. It was a little slow mission, but you had to climb up this big mountain to get there and I think fight a troll or something.
It was a slow mission, but it happens relatively early.
Yeah.
And I was surprised that, like, because I was so nervous to fight a dragon for the first time. I was like, oh, this is going to be some, like, epic, like, intense, lengthy boss fight. But it wasn't that bad. And it was good to do it that way because it was like, oh, this is actually, like, an accessible thing that's going to be happening a lot.
And a big important part of
a big important part of the game.
what Skyrim's about is being Dragonborn, right?
It's so sad watching it.
Oh, that was so cool.
I lost so much time here in a blink of an eye, and I think that's a sign of a well-made RPG. So I'm giving it 9.5 out of 10 rubber chickens.
I'd give it 10 looking back, I think.
What did I give it?
Having
10.
discussions with all my friends about their discoveries. I just love this game. For me, it's an easy 10 out of 10 rubber chickens.
I probably... Oh,
Shh. Can you hear that? It's Nirnroot.
Nirnroot.
might have just been tinnitus.
I mean, I get obsessed with like herb picking in video games and picking like a variety of things to be able to make potions and all that kind of stuff. But the fact that Nirnroot had that little ringing sound just made me like twice as obsessed.
I think I gave it a lesser score because of maybe the combat I felt was always a bit like there's so much great about this game and it is greater than the sum of its parts, but still I'm just doing this.
Yeah.
You know? And even when I played this recently actually, and I'm still like, I just don't enjoy the combat in Skyrim at a fundamental level, but everything else kind of made up for it. I think that's why I didn't give it 10.
I think there's something about Bethesda games that's always going to be a little bit janky, and I don't know if that's like just part of it and part of what those games are.
They're so ambitious. I think it's something has to suffer. You know?
But you're right. I think that's fair. I think that if whatever Bethesda ends up doing with Starfield, and I'm sure it's going to be, you know, gun-based combat, but I really hope that they kind of nail those interactions well, because I think it's fair to say that like you knocked off a half point for the combat being that it's something that hampers the enjoyment of the experience, because it does feel like you're a little bit like a marionette puppet trying to
like a puppet.
interact with things. So yeah. Oh wow! Oh, what a great review!
Yeah,
I love that intro.
That one. That
awesome.
montage was great.
Yeah.
The only thing I remember as the pain point of that game more than anything else was entering a small room, because the loading on the consoles was so bad. It was just like, I don't want to go in this room to do this quest because it's going to take 2 minutes to load in and then 5 minutes to load out.
I think for me, to this day, I'm terrible at remembering to manually save. So
oh, yeah. You really had to with this one. Set you well back, didn't it?
Yeah. I found a lot of frustration in losing progress because I'd forgotten to manually save stuff. And I just get very immersed, and it's hard. Sometimes I set a timer for me, like an alarm bell to remind me to save, because I'm that
like
bad.
on your phone.
Yeah. It's like, now that I live stream, I have chat who are just like, save.
Oh, they remind you to,
Yeah, I have a special emote for saving. And
I'm a serial F5er. I think it's F5 for quick save.
It is.
I think.
that was great.
Yeah, that was great. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you'd like to watch more Barjo and Hex looking at our younger selves,
You can find them all over on the ABC Gamer YouTube channel.
watch how much we've aged.